Alright, so today's video is basically the second one in the series that I was making for my Piat. I was waiting to get my stuff here done because I didn't want to. Well, I could have shown you the rest of the video without this stuff on it, but I figured I was halfway to making it, so why not just finish it before I made the rest of this video, and now you'll be able to see it sort of how it was supposed to be. Anyway, so today's video is going to be basically on aiming, cocking it, and the use of the sights here. Alright, so to begin with, I'm going to try to do this all on screen, even though it's tough with the angle, I guess. But to begin with, I'll show you how the proper way of actually cocking it was. The purpose of this was to cock it before you were in battle. Obviously, it makes a lot more sense with a spring that big. So I'll show you how you do it when you're standing up, and then I'll show you how to uncock the thing since you're not supposed to dry fire it. So I'll start with that, and then I'll show you what happens if you have to cock it for whatever reason in battle conditions. So I'll do it while I'm lying down. Hopefully that works out okay, and then we'll just show you how the sights and that were used. Alright. So to start, you would take your Piat, you'd step on the butt plate, then you would lift up. I think I turned this the wrong way, to tell you the truth. Yeah, just do it either way, easier to see. So you take it, you find whatever handhold you can on it. You take it like this, you turn it a bit, you see how it goes like this, and you pull straight up until you hear a click. Now, you align the notches on it, and you'd have a cocked Piat. Now, when you're done, I don't know how you're seeing this because of the light conditions. Over a bit more so you can see better. Anyways, now you've got a cocked Piat and you have to uncock it because you can't just pull the trigger on it. Pulling the trigger makes the even though there's a buffer in here, the big spring pushes the firing pin technically over, or the spigot back up, and hammers into this until it finally disconnects. It breaks all the welds off of it. And then you've got a broken Piat that has to be sent back. Since there's no one who's going to repair these for me anymore, I'm going to not do that. So all I'm going to do is take the safety off. We're going to pull up like we did the last time, put a little bit of force on the spring, and then hit the trigger. Then it'll bring it back down. This is tough. I'm sure you guys have noticed it a bit. It's almost easier to do it lying down for me, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to do it when somebody's shooting at me or knows that I'm in that area. So we just reverse the process. So you take it, take off the safety again. What you would do is twist, bring it to its maximum, pull up a bit, pull the trigger. And then try to find the sweet spot where it's supposed to go in. And now the Piat's uncocked. Now I'm going to try to do it. I don't have that much room here. So let's see what I could do while I'm lying down. I'll probably switch over and lie down this way so you guys could see me better. I'm just going to take the tray out of it because we don't need that for this video anyway. So now, same procedure you do, except you do it while you're lying down on your back. And you could either keep your knees up and sort of spread like that, or from the side and try to do it. I'll test it from the side. I've done it the other way in videos that I didn't post, so. Same idea. You take it. Obviously a lot more pain in the ass. But you take it. You're lying down. Oh, that's it. You take it. You put your feet on it. You unlock it. And then you push with your feet. And that's how you cock it when you're. Then you could take it and close it back into place. All right. Now I'm going to put the safety on because once again I don't want to accidentally pull the trigger. Safety's on. And now we'll get into aiming it. As you see a little cork that's sitting down there, I don't know if I showed you in the previous video, but this cork just seals a hole when it's cocked, just so no dirt gets in because it was really sensitive to dirt and that. So now we're going to get into the sighting and shooting it. So for that, what we've got here is an actual Piat bomb. This one here is a Canadian made one. Sunshine Waterloo Bicycle Company, I think, is what makes these ones here. It's missing the little cap at the end and the fuse. So, and in the back here, something you don't really hear much about. Maybe get some light on this thing here. I'm sort of standing in a bad position. Anyways, there's a little clip that sticks off of here. I'll show you on the actual Piat. I'll bring it closer and we'll Alright, I've shown you it in the other video, but there's these two ramps that you see here. Sorry, I'm on the wrong side of the camera for this. My natural light is coming from the other side. Anyways, those clips that are on the back tail slide into here in order to hold it in position. That way you could turn on an angle, a downward angle that doesn't fall off, and it's to hold it steady while the spigot comes through. Because without that, you would have some problems. It could push it forward, cause issues, and it wouldn't be a consistent firing. Anyways, put this down here. Get it as close as we can. So, all right. So you pull the Piat out of its box basically. It's transfer containers of the bomb with the clip on it. You would test to make sure the clip's not loose. Then you would take, usually on here there's a little container. You'd pull it off. Inside would be the fuse to put in the front here. Put the fuse in, or the second guy with you. Then he would screw the little cap on that retains the fuse in place. Then it would be an arm bomb. His next thing would be, you get at the Piat, he'd place it through the hole here, and then the clip that's on the back of it would slide down the center there, and the Piat would sit just like that in the tray. where the Piat bomb would sit that way in the tray. Now, this is an anti-tank weapon, number one. So we'll show you the anti-tank sighting and shooting, I guess, with that. So on it, you're going to see a rear sight, front sight, just a post front sight. The rear sight is, you see the two little holes there? It's set for 70 and 100. I'm assuming they're yards at this point in time with the British, unless they decide to go with the Canadian. Because this tube may be a Canadian tube, I don't know. I know the bomb is, but I don't know about the actual tube itself. Anyways, it's right-handed, so you lie down behind it, or sit in the trench, or whatever you want to do. You flip up your sights, and now you've got your sights here. They had two different ways of holding it, supposedly. You could hold like this, which is fine, but supposedly you had a lot more chance of it not reloading or rearming the tube, so you'd have to do what I just did with the sideways. Lying down and cocking it, so good chance you'd miss. So what they do is they'd have the hand in the front of the trigger guard, I guess you call it, and then you push it up against your shoulder while you went to shoot. The monopod's useful because if you could sort of lean into it and turn, so you can sort of follow your tank. And you either set it at 70 or 100, line her up, and with two fingers on the trigger, you pull it and fire it. It is a long trigger pull on it, and the problem with that is when you pulled the trigger, you ended up with a bit of a delay between when the cocked spigot was released and when it hit the cartridge in the front of the bomb, well, in the front of the tail of the bomb. So that would fire it, but there's a bit of delay, so you'd have to actually hold your target, pull the trigger, and keep it on target for that short delay. So that's the basics of firing it at tanks. There's obviously the standard, all the routines and everything for it, giving the lead that you need, all that kind of stuff there. But the secondary role of the Piat was I guess, building, fortification, stuff like that. And there were different rounds actually made for it, so you could fire different types of rounds at different types of targets. But it was a secondary role, so it was only seen as basically for that. But it also gave the Piat a much broader use. Anyways, you might notice there's a line running right up. And that, you see it on a lot of the British mortars. That's a sighting line. So the Piat was used as an indirect firing weapon also. And there is a picture of it somewhere. I don't know if I'll use it in the video. I might put it in this video here to just show someone using it like that. Anyways, so what you would do is you would no longer use your two sights that you have there. For that, you would now have that black sight that you see on the back here, right there. So let me close up these ones. Alright, now you would, to set it into that mode there's two different things you have to do. One, you have to set your distance to target. So what you have here is, I'll try to bring it up to the camera. I don't know if you'll see it properly. I'll try to get it here. But without dropping my bomb at the back. This is a 31-pound toy, and that bomb isn't light either. Anyways, let's see if I could get that. So you've got this sight here, which has a, turn sideways here, HA, for high angle, low angle, in yards up to 370. So depending on what you're firing at, you could set it for a low angle trajectory or a high angle trajectory. So you could set it, say, line up to 300 there, tighten it up, and now you would use your lines here, the main line here, to line up, I guess it's horizontal alignment. And if you see in the back here, I'll try to get it to work. I don't know if you'll see a little bubble in there, right in this thing. That would give you your right angle. So basically, if you had it this angle right now, it would fire at 300. So now you've got that set up. Your last thing to do is you take your actual back end here, and you see there's a hole here. Well, it should lock into like that, and now your butt pat is on sideways, which is more like you see some of those mortars. So now what you would do, have your mortar, you could lean it up against something. I don't have anything here to lean it up against properly, but let's do a high angle, that way we could make it a lot easier for me. So I go high angle and say I want it at 200. I'd see it on the ground like this. I'd make sure my angle was straight towards what I was aiming at, or my line was in line completely with what I was aiming at, like a 2-inch mortar. And then I'd get the bubble to line up like that. And technically I'd be lying down here. I wouldn't be at this level, because I'm just using it like this right now because I need my foot to hold it still. Anyways, you wouldn't be at this level here. You'd be lower. You'd get it to line up, and then you just fire the trigger. Well, you pull the trigger on it, you'd fire, and you'd have basically a spigot mortar. And that's how this sight was used on it. Obviously you could set it for different heights, and if you were to sit it like this, and if I was to bring it down to where it's supposed to be, this distance here, just leaving like this, if I were to fire it, gives me approximately a 270, 300 yard shot at whatever target I'm at. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that video. I'll get more videos done on this as soon as I can, and hope you guys learned something today. Thanks for watching.